Well, we're all trying to get to bed here at the Marriott, the Courtyard Marriott in Columbus. Oliver, Ava, Adeline, Amy, and I are wiped out for different reasons. Kids had fun today at Legoland, and I had fun in Philadelphia. I was a little bit happy because I only get to drive one horse, and then it poured rain. But Rose Run Versatile race good day. We'll get to that in a minute. I didn't get to make you a video from Bucyrus, Ohio. We had a lot of fun there. It was really hot. It rained right before we got there, and it was really hot. By the time I got on the track was actually pretty fast, so it didn't really affect us negatively in any way. Susie K raced good, but the track was kind of beachy. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but real powdery, packed down from the water, and she was not getting a hold of the track at all. She was not, there's Addie. She was not super comfortable on the track, but one horse that was Overdue Mission. She strutted her stuff pretty good. Now you might say, oh, she went in 2.5. Come on now. You can see what kind of track it was. You can see what kind of track it was in 2.5. She went a huge mile. She was out at the quarter pole. I just let her do her work first over, and then she cleared coming out of the turn. And the only horse that was coming to me made a break, so I just let her coast to the wire. A big mile for her. She raced awesome last night. Then today was a big day for us. We had 12 horses at 3 tracks in 2 countries, all 12 stake races. So I get up in the morning, had a quick shower, and went to drive. I was only driving Rose Run Versatile. I couldn't stay. As it turned out, the way they ran the race off, I could have stayed just as well. It poured rain. Maybe I couldn't have stayed because I would have had a shower afterwards. It was a real muddy sight for at least Path of Totality's race. I know the heat. As soon as the taps were turned off, the scorching heat in Philadelphia, it reminds me of a rare but extremely hot day in PEI where I'm from because it's surrounded by water. It's this humidity is unbelievable in Philadelphia. Anyway, Rose Run Versatile raced good. The track was deep when she went out. Like, the track is very deep there. She wears flip-flops. So does Path of Totality. And I can't speak for Path of Totality. I saw the race, and I assume it tired her out also, like it did Rose Run Versatile. But both those fillies showed a lot of composure to do their work, because when they're slipping, they're interfering a little bit. They're touching. They're knocking. And it's frustrating for them because they can't make the speed they want to. Some horses can get through that track with flip-flops. I know that Rose Run Versatile worked extremely hard to stay at her work and get through the track. I assume Path of Totality went through the same trials with her race. Both fillies finished second. Both fillies raced good. Miss Mischief Maker, I had told John after, we'll bring her home, let her mature a little bit. Clearly she's not going to make the Stallion Series final, right? And she needs to mature as a horse. I told Corey, a flat line with money would be great. He took that seriously. He got money. He was 5th. All the other horses made breaks. He was 5th, but it wasn't a beautiful sight. But she did her work, and we get paid a little bit. And now she's going to come home. And then, obviously, just for me and you, I think pound for pound, probably the best mile of the day from our fillies. Looked really, really good. Now, we waited a week with her. We didn't take her to the Poconos. So did that play a role? Maybe. I think it was more the shoeing. I thought Path of Totality and Versatile raced really, really well. But, as I said, pound for pound, just for me and you, it was just a little bit better. They all got paid the same, though. They all finished second, and they all raced really, really well. Jumped on a plane. I wanted to make it back for spend that money. Sat on the tarmac for an hour as those thunder showers rolled through Philadelphia. We sat right there on the tarmac for an hour and 10 minutes. I landed just to watch Spend That Money race. Thought she was a little bit flat, but they went 58, and you never know for sure. So we got her scoped full, absolutely full, top to bottom. And when that happens, you're like, should have saw something. Should have known she was a little bit off, whether it be James, whether it be Jason, whether it be anybody. And then I went and drove Ailson later on. I warmed Ailson up myself. I thought she warmed up unbelievably well. Raced her. You could tell she was gassed in the last turn. Still got paid, still finished 5th. Scoped her after, full. There was just no way to know. If I couldn't tell in the warm-up that I thought she was 105% in the warm-up. In fact, after what had taken place throughout the night, I thought she was probably going to be the best, well, not the best looking filly after the way Globe-Trotting race, but maybe win and look impressive. I made front 28-3. I knew I was getting a big breather. I had the only one that I thought I had to beat. Two of them were Pete Wren's filly, the one that won it, Guinevere Hall. She won the race. And first over was Aaron. I had Aaron where I wanted him, first over with a breather. I thought I could just leave him right there, bury him in the turn. And he blew right by me getting into the last turn. And not the same race in Northfield. He really didn't collar me until very late in the mile. She was just weak. So I had said to Jason, scope her. And obviously we were going to anyway. And she was full. So spend that money and her were full. We didn't scope the other two fillies. But I suspect they maybe weren't 100%. A lot of people said Globe-Trotting, what happened? Because you couldn't tell in the video. But she had the outside of the gate. And if you watch enough of the Scioto races, sometimes they pick them up early in the turn. There's an ambulance, a big white ambulance that parks right against the fence up in the far turn, and everybody congregates out there. It's a hot night. There had to be 75 people jammed up against the fence. She saw every one of them. She got going. She got looking sideways. I think something spooked her. As is, it was okay, but something at the last minute, as we got to those people, spooked her, and she jumped sideways and made a break. And I didn't react poorly, because there was another horse. I'm thinking to myself, I'm angry, but at the same time, it's not her fault. I got her back trotting. We spotted the field. You guys couldn't tell. At least 15 lengths. At least. I took my time. I didn't rush to catch up. I just let her creep up along in behind them at the quarter pole. One made a break. Another one made a break. I got her moving. If that cover had been good cover, I jog, because the guy in the 2-hole never gets out to the passing lane. He dumps in the 3-hole. I'm coming. Now the guy in the 2-hole exits the 2-hole. I'm thinking I'm going to be clever. I drop down to the inside, because that's Burke's horse on the front. I think Chris Page is driving it. He's going to take me to the head of the lane. Not quite. Pete Wren collared him before the head of the lane, and I made a decision. I said, okay, I'm going to come back out and chase. At that point, I'd lost my momentum, and Globe-Trotting, just so we're clear, and I'd said this to my wife on the way over, I think Globe-Trotting might be one of the best horses I've ever trained. And in fairness to the people that don't spend that money, I haven't sat behind spend that money in a long time. So that's a loaded statement. And I will give the caveat that I have not sat behind spend that money in a very long time. Having said that, I have sat behind Globe-Trotting. I think she's probably, in my mind, one of the best horses I've ever trained. Just a beautiful, beautiful filly. Jason's done a great job with her down here. Tonight was certainly not, if you had seen what took place, you'd know what I was talking about. Certainly not her fault. Yeah, she's a little timid. She's a baby. But remember how she used to make breaks? If you got her up close to somebody, she'd throw her head and run down the backstretch. I'm right up on top of that guy. She knew she was all business tonight, this filly. She wants to get at it, but she still sees everything. It's not her fault. She'll learn. It's pretty crappy to get beat like that, but pretty unbelievable the mile she went. This is a 2-year-old filly that spotted them 15 lengths at the gate and was beat, a length and a quarter? A length and a half? Raced so unbelievable. It was something else. It really, really surprised me. When I moved her, I'm like, I didn't want to move her, but I knew I could pin Aaron down, and his horse was one to beat. The front end looked suspect. It just looked like maybe we'll get paid. Maybe we'll get some money. And if I was shameless, I would have just come 3 wide with her getting into the last turn. I think maybe I do win. I just couldn't do that to her. I dumped her down to the inside, tried to save as much ground as I could. It looked like it was going to work out, and she ended up second, a charging second. I mean, I can't say enough how much respect I had for that filly of the way she, when she come back trotting, the composure she showed. And a lot of horses will do this. They'll make a break and they'll just try to catch up, and they'll tire themselves out. She allowed me just to rate her and allowed me to let her grind up in behind them, catch cover, and finish up her race. So spend that money, full of mucus, finish second. Compass Rose DC, he was putting her on the front. He knows she's no good in the front, but it's just the way the race works out, right? He said, I made front, and I told Aaron, come back around me. Aaron said, no, I'm good here. So he's stuck on the front end with her again. I had said to Jason, it looked like in the last turn, I'm like, oh my God, they're catching up. Or Jason says to me, he goes, I think she's beat. And I said, when they come out of the last turn, she'll kick away again. I know she only come 32, but she did what she had to do to win. and that's Compass. That's a Compass Rose DC. That's what she does, and good for her. She raced well. A.L. Sund did all she could. Certainly no loss of respect there. When they're full of mucus like that, there's not much you can do. Then, as the races were going on, I'm looking back and forth in Ontario. What a trip Capistrano went. Collared halfway down the lane. She was beat halfway down the lane and come back on. Filly that whacked it out, let one go, removed at the 8th pole, 27-4 in the third quarter. The second favorite jumps on her coming out of the turn and passes her by a little bit. She comes back on to win, and people say, oh, the horse hung. That filly fought back on to win, raced unbelievably well. Just so impressive, her trip. And then Wiggle Delight, obviously it worked out. The guy run the front end, and I don't know where he was going, but run the front end, and Mario pounced on her. But as soon as she makes front, she always does is she go to sleep. So he had to keep working on her. And the whipping rule, the way it is in Ontario, there's nothing he can do. He did a good job to keep her alive and had her pace on the wire. I thought she raced well, 54 flats, not a disgraceful mile, and a good win for her, a good maiden-breaking victory, and a good race for the stable. Inland Beach, Mario ended up first over with her. Not really her trip. It's too bad, too, because she's such a nice filly. It pays 55, 56, and you're kind of lost in the grassroots. That's a frustrating position to be in. We still have lots of options with this filly. Obviously, she's going to struggle throughout the rest of the year trying to beat and even the horse I'm going to talk about in a minute, Miss Brampton Beast, should have mauled the class she was in with today. Again, ended up first over. You could see coming out of the last turn, she was just green, being stupid, wandering all over the track. This is another filly I'd like to see her third over and attacking down the lane. That's what I'd like to see, or in the 2-hole and move her out and let her pounce. She needs a wake-up call, that filly, I think, but the speed's there and she'll get it. But a mediocre fourth tonight. But then you look at Capistrano and Wiggle Delight. Listen, Inland Beach isn't going to beat those fillies right now. That's just the way it is. But we'll find a spot for Inland Beach to do a little bit of damage for the end of the year. Put her away and let her mature as the filly we hope she'll be. So quite a 48 hours. Now, today's Thursday. We started off the week Monday. Where was I Monday? Monday I was in the Meadows. We were first, second with Willpower Fashion and Libero Hanover. Great day. Sebastian Yu made a break. He was sick also, like these fillies. It happens. Then Tuesday, I went to Yonkers. Second in a track record at Yonkers. It's been open since Christ was a cowboy. This was a track record, and we were second with really blue chip. 56 over Yonkers is an incredible feat for a 2-year-old filly. That filly that won that race might be the best filly in North America. Maybe. Very, very impressive filly. Then today was Wednesday. Wednesday went to Bucyrus. We get a first and a third. So now we got a first, a second, a first, and a third. Got up today, went to Philadelphia. 3 seconds and a fifth. Then we came here tonight. First, second, third, fifth. Then in Ontario, 2 wins, a fifth, and a seventh. So in the total this week, we've raced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 horses. We've missed 2 checks. All these are stake races. 18 horses have raced since Monday, and we've missed 2 checks. And probably, I would say, one of the best weeks we've ever had is this week. And then we still have Knockdown Dragout, Harness AM, West 52nd, yes, and Emerald Mist tomorrow. And that's it for the week of stakes. Anyway, Saturday night I could have went and drove Oh So Pine, but it's Ollie's birthday on Sunday. I want to have some family time down here. Listen, we could dig up Stanley Dancer and breed him to Walter Case, and that driver could not win with Oh So Pine into the 8-hole. So, it's frustrating. The 8-hole on that half-mile track is a graveyard to begin with. Oh So Pine needed to draw 1 through 4 to do very, very well. And I wish Ryan Stahl and myself, who owns a chunk of them now, and all my partners, all the luck in the world. But I think first of the week, first truck available, Also Pine, is going to be going out to Illinois. Little change of scenery, little change of attitude, hopefully, for our boy, and try to get him back on track. It's very frustrating, but that's how the cookie crumbles. So, I'm going to take Saturday off and spend some time with Amy and the kids. And then Sunday, I told Ollie I'd take him to the Detroit Tigers game. The Jays are playing in Detroit. So on our way home, we're going to stop in Detroit and watch the Blue Jays game. So just a fantastic week so far. It's been a lot of fun for me. I'm really not that tired, Ollie. I'm really not that tired. I'm going to have a shower, and then I'm going to get up tomorrow and do it all again. Where are you guys going tomorrow? Anybody know? Hey? Where are you going tomorrow? The zoo. Going to the zoo. So that's it from Ohio. It's late here at night. We had a big day. I know for the people out there, we all just assumed Spend That Money and Globe-Trotting would win. Spend That Money was sick, and Globe-Trotting couldn't have went a bigger mile. I don't think it's possible. That filly is just something else. So, big night here, big week for all of us. We're going to try and keep it going tomorrow. A huge day tomorrow for us, for our 3-year-old trotters, and then again our heavyweights in Pennsylvania, Knockdown, Drag Out, and Harness AM. So, that's it. That's all. Give you guys maybe a short video tomorrow, and then taking the weekend off. Take care.